Alright, y'all, so I've said this time and time, hundreds of times, alright? Black Lives Matter, the whole organization, does not care about black people on a whole, alright? They don't care about you as a whole. As long as you're out there with them, yeah, alright? But if you are actually a black person struggling, they care less what happens to you. Now, there are actually white people at the top who are running this. Yeah, there are actually white people running this at the top. As y'all remember, I did a video. One of the top people in Atlanta was a white guy. He spent, I believe, $50,000, $100,000 to refurnish his house. But yeah, Black Lives Matter cares about black people, alright? Now, this just right here goes to prove, alright? Now, several weeks ago, I traveled to Woodland on the south side of Chicago as I drove through the icy streets past businesses and homes. I did not see a single Black Lives Matter sign. After parking my car on King Drive, I entered the New Beginnings Church, where Pastor Corey Brooks greeted me. I joked that I thought Black Lives Matter would see more support in this neighborhood, and he just smiled. Then I asked if his nonprofit community center called Project Hood had received any $9 million that Black Lives Matter had raised since the death of George Floyd. He let out a drawn-out no. His community has suffered horribly after the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis last May. Pharmacies and grocery stores were looted and trashed, leaving residents, many of them poor, without basic necessities. The pastor organized for church members to shuttle their fellow neighbors to pharmacies and stores in other towns so they would not have to go without medicine or food. The pastor wondered if the looted stores would ever come back. He spent the last 2 decades in this neighborhood improving it. Every possible way so businesses would set up shop and provide countless employment opportunities to the locals. But who would invest hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, only to lose everything in a night of violence? It is undisputable that Black Lives Matter took America by storm after the death of George Floyd and still continues to do so. Several of my neighbors in Los Angeles who had never given much thought to race suddenly put up Black Lives Matter signs in their yards or windows. One of them wrote, "I see you" on her sign and let it drop during a conversation that she donated $500 to Black Lives Matter. I told her there were many worthy organizations that had been trolling to uplift the lower class long before the arrival of Black Lives Matter. I mentioned Project Hood, and I also let her know that several admirable nonprofits in Ferguson, Missouri, the town that put Black Lives Matter on the map, had not received a dime from the organization. My neighbor's face tensed up noticeably, leaving me puzzled. Maybe she wanted unconditional praise for her generosity, and maybe she wanted to see only what directly would benefit her. Exactly, alright? Again, there are actually organizations out there that will help the black community and help people who actually need help and want to improve where they live in the communities and improve their lives and get jobs for them and themselves, alright? Now, that being said, Ferguson, Missouri, alright? There were people there demanding money from Black Lives Matter. Now, they got over $90 million, alright? So, where's that $90 million going? That's my whole question. Where is that $90 million going, alright? It's not going to Chicago, we can see that. Alright? And I still see people in grocery stores with Black Lives Matter mask on or Black Lives Matter clothing, alright? Now, we all know if I went up there and asked a question about it, these people wearing these masks or these clothing would probably get offended and call me a white supremacist and racist and all this, alright? But at the end of the day, alright? Look, my life matters, Black Lives Matter, all lives matter in my personal opinion, alright? You can say that's racist or whatever. I don't care at this point, alright? Call me what you want. Fact is, all lives matter, alright? And if you get offended by that, then don't watch my videos. Dislike it. I really don't care, alright? If that offends you, then we're not the same, alright? Now, with that being said, again, where's that $90 million going? It's not going to Ferguson. It's not going to Chicago. I don't see you paying George Floyd's family. So where is it going? Well, where is it going? It's going in your own pocket. That's where it's going. All right, and that's another thing. Since this whole Black Lives Matter thing has started, it's been a bandwagon. All right, people just jumping on it, just jump on it. I mean, people who you thought would never say anything about race or never get involved are automatically putting Black Lives Matter mask on, Black Lives Matter clothing on, putting signs up, flooding their Facebook or whatever social media they have with Black Lives Matter. Think about it. And again, this lady here dropped $500,000. $500. And for what? You probably just lost $500 and it did nothing at all. Now, it actually seems like this pastor here is trying to, make where he is a better place. But people out there that are actually trying to do that aren't getting the help they need. It's the people that are out there destroying communities, talking about, oh, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. They're the ones getting all the money. And all they do is stick it in their own pocket. That's all it is, alright? And we're so divided now because of the media, alright? I mean, think about it. We got Black Lives Matter. We got those people that are just on their own, alright? You got Antifa, wherever they are right now. They're still in Portland. You got them, which, at the end of the day, they probably side with them more. But they just want to start their own whole world. They don't really care about anything going on. They just want to start their own country and have no laws or whatever. Alright? Then, you got Republicans and Democrats against each other. Now, obviously, Democrats are on this side. Then you got conservatives and people who are, with the police, who bet the police on this side. And we're all at each other like this. Now, that being said, I've never backed down from what I believe in. I will never back down from what I believe in, alright? At the end of the day, though, the media has fueled this hate, alright? Because, again, people who never thought about race or anything are automatically jumping on the Black Lives Matter bandwagon, and they don't even know what the hell they're talking about. They just see people screaming Black Lives Matter in the street, and they're like, oh, I'm black. Let me go out there and scream Black Lives Matter. But if a white person goes out there and says all lives matter or white lives matter, you're considered a racist. Alright? And like I said, just to give some examples of this. Alright? Jazmine Barnes was killed. And I use her a lot because she's a example of the racism in the media, alright? Sad example, but it's a perfect example of racism in the media, alright? Anyways, her sister, and her mother were sitting in the car, alright? Her mother got shot, and 7-year-old Jazmine Barnes was shot and killed, alright? Security camera shows up, and shows a white, red pickup truck going by with a white person in it, alright? CNN, ABC, MSNBC, alright? Fox News, they all thought it was a white person, so CNN and MSNBC, or CNN and ABC especially, were screaming 24/7, oh my god, a white person drove by and shot a 7-year-old black girl and killed her and shot her mother. Her sister's traumatized. Alright, number one. It was nighttime, number one. So, how the hell would the driver of the truck even know that what the race was? How would you know that? Number one, alright? Alright, and then, about 6 days later, comes out that it was 2 black people who did it, alright? Fox News reported it about 2 or 3 hours after the fact. ABC took about 14 hours. But, you know how long it took CNN? Almost a whole day. 21 hours to report that after the fact. 21 hours. So for 6 days, you could scream that a white person shot and killed an innocent 7-year-old black girl, shot her mother. When it comes out, 2 black people did it. Took you 21 hours reporting. That's probably what you did. 2 black people shot and killed Jazmine Barnes and her mother. All right, next story. That's probably what happened. And we ain't heard nothing since then. So where's justice for Jazmine Barnes at? Where's justice for her mother? Where's justice for her sister? Where's that? Where are they at? Just here's where Black Lives Matter is at for them. All right. George Floyd. Again. We'll see what happens in court with that. But I still think he died from a drug overdose. Alright, and like I said, Minneapolis teaches the knee on the neck maneuver. I didn't even know that until I did my research. And that is why you always do your research, people. But with that being said, I don't know. Black Lives Matter only cares about certain people. Because again, Jazmine Barnes is a perfect example of where's justice for Jazmine Barnes? Where's justice for her at? But with that being said, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. As always, thank y'all for watching. And as always, y'all stay safe out there.